If you find yourself thinking, help me, I'm too busy and something needs to change, I've got you here. Here are 4 questions to ask when you're too busy. If we haven't met before, my name is Michele and I am a certified online business manager. And I kindly kick digital CEOs out of the back office so they can focus on more sales, more revenue, and my very favorite, more impact. Okay, I get it. So being too busy does not serve you, it does not serve your family, and it does not serve your clients. So this constant state of hustle that you may be experiencing is actually getting in the way of growing your business. Yeah, say what? It really is. So, friend, I've got good news for you. You can totally fix busy. Just go ahead and pause this video, grab your to-do list, maybe a cup of coffee or your beverage of choice, and let's work through your task list together with these 4 questions. Okay, so the first question is, does this really need to be done? So if the answer is yes, it needs to be done, well, when, now, or later? So that's what we want to determine, because our to-do list can easily become a list of wants. We can fill that up with all of our brilliant ideas, the things we're thinking about, but we haven't actually made a decision on. Those are not actual tasks that need to be done, so they need to find a different place other than your to-do list. Look at your list, and we're going to mark any task that's an idea, and we're going to add it either to our someday maybe list or to our ideas list, and we're going to get it off your to-do list altogether. So you can do this by either highlighting it with a different color or drawing a cute little icon next to that task. And then we're going to take that and we're going to move it to that different someday maybe, or our ideas list. And then we know we have it captured and we know it's in a safe place so that we can go through that list anytime where we're feeling we need to have a little inspiration, or we want to complex or talk or look through the different things that we had ideas on in the past, because you never know, it might come up again. Okay, so let's look at your to-do list again. Now, what tasks are actually more of a decision? So add that to your decision log. And if you don't have a decision log, create one today. So schedule time in your calendar daily to go through that decision log when your mind is the most fresh, not at the end of the day when you're already in decision fatigue. Okay, so what about the items that you have marked as need to be done now? So if you aren't strategically planning ahead, then as a default, everything on your to-do list will feel like it needs to be done now, where in actuality, it probably doesn't have to be done right now. So I want you to work through each item that's on there and ask yourself, when does this really need to be done? So could it be put off until next week? No, I'm not asking you to procrastinate till the very last minute, but I'm asking you to look at the things that you actually have on your list, and maybe it can be at a different time. Like, how important is it? Because this is where you're going to get into your prioritization of your tasks. So, like, does it need to be done now? Can it be done maybe next month or maybe even next quarter? So then you're going to take that list and you're going to actually put realistic due dates besides each of them. A bonus point if you actually put in like an estimated amount of time that you think it's going to take you, because that's where you're really going to excel with it. Because if you say you put down 15 things on your to-do list and you're only planning to work 2 hours in the day, and each one of those are going to take you 15 minutes, guess what? You don't have enough time. And that will cause you to feel overwhelmed. So you want to make sure that you're putting an estimate in there. And if you've never done something before, then double that amount of time. So if you are, like I said, a new task that you've never done before and you have no idea how long it's going to take you, if you estimate you think it's going to take you 15 minutes, put in 30 minutes. Then you'll just have extra time in your day that you can fill something else in there, because something always does come up. So keep that in mind when you're going through your to-do list as well. Okay, now I do want to mention that as an OBM, I always do start by creating a plan for my clients during our breakthrough and our kickoff calls so that we can actually have a realistic time frame of how long it's actually going to take to get all the things done that we have on our list. Okay, so after you've done all of that, then the question number 2 is, do I need to be the one to do this? Now, this one is a little bit more challenging sometimes. So, if you're like most online business owners, I know as a default, you feel like you must do everything. You are good at what you do, you are used to being the one to get it all done, but now things are starting to fall behind and they're slipping through the cracks. Running through your list again and ask yourself, could somebody else do this for me? Deep breath right now. Take it. It's okay. It's okay. And I want you to be aware of the following when you answer. Well, yes, someone else could do this for me, but I'm really the only one here, so I have to do it. So if you don't have anybody working for you right now, and this totally could be true if you're new on your whole business journey, but you also have the power to change that. Like, growth dictates that you will need to hire somebody at some point in your business. Now, when you do that is completely up to you, and it needs to feel right, and you need to be able to have that revenue to sustain that person that's helping you. But if you're not there yet, just start to look at ways in which you could do that, or find ways, like be creative with how you could find somebody to help you. Could you trade services with somebody? Could you trade time with somebody? This is just different ways to do it. I guess I wouldn't encourage you to trade time since you're already overwhelmed. But if you have some other thing, a course that you could give them in exchange for some of their ability to help you, totally possible. Okay, and then if you find yourself saying, but nobody else can do it as well as me, so I have to do this. Well, you may be surprised to hear this is just a story that you're telling yourself, because you may be ready to up level in your business. And that is going to be pushing you outside of your comfort zone. And we tend to hold ourselves back when we're getting pushed outside of our comfort zone. And we do that by holding on to the belief that only we can do it. And this is really a dangerous spot to be stuck in, because as long as you believe it to be true, it is. And it can be your biggest barrier to growth. So when I find myself saying, I'm the only one that can do this, I take a step back and I say, that's not true. And I begin to list off why it's not true to get myself out of that story. So when you hear yourself say, no one can do it as well as me, simply respond, that's not true. I can easily train another person to be as good as me, or find someone who does it already and bring them onto my team. Now, as an OBM, I do work with my clients on being able to download everything they have going on in their mind with a big mind sweep, so that we can look at the different ways that we can document those processes and get those things off the to-do list and delegate it out to other people. The goal is simple. We want to get things off your plate that others can do. And if you do not have a team yet, get creative and figure out a plan on how you can get supported. And that second question can be a doozy, as it brings up all kinds of stuff. It might make your inner control freak have a bit of a fit. And trust me when I say, getting things off the task list so that you can focus on the things that only you can do is the light at the end of a very busy tunnel. So if you go through your list and you still have your name beside each task, we need to talk, because sometimes an outside eye can often see what you can't see. And I will be happy to tell you and remind you that that's not true. So this brings up to question 3. How can I create more space? Because we all want more space in our lives and in our calendars especially. So at this point, you should have a realistic list of what needs to be done in the next week or so. Now you want to ensure you have the space and time to get it all done. And here are 2 of my favorite tips for you. This one I'm sure is going to shock you. I want you to plan ahead. I want you to book the time in your schedule to actually get the stuff done. So you might book in a specific task, or you might just have a big block schedule of time on your calendar for tasks such as writing or client time. Really, you want to put together like thing with like thing when you're block scheduling your time. And get that on there on your calendar to be the thing. And we want to get to the point with the things on our calendar or on our task list, again, are only the things that you can do. Okay, and you need to be able to set boundaries. So distraction is the death of productivity. Be a team, client, family, social media, every time you get distracted, it takes you off track. And for many people, it happens all day long. So just close your door, shut your inbox. It's okay if you don't respond to an email as soon as it comes in. Turn off your notifications. Turn off your notifications on your phone. Turn off your notifications on your computer if it alerts you of things that are coming up. Let people know when you aren't available and when you are, and get really good at saying no, because they will test your boundaries. Amy Porterfield has this thing called Tiger Time, and I will put the link below. So listen to Amy talk about her Tiger Time on her Online Marketing Made Easy podcast, where she completely goes through how she gets the most work done when she actually schedules it on her calendar with her during her Tiger Time, which is when she is the most productive. So you need to find that time, most productive time for yourself as well. Okay, so this brings us to the final question. Number 4, do I need to renegotiate any deadlines? So if you're truly in over your head and you can't get everything done, then you need to revisit the deadlines with your clients, your teammates, or whoever may be waiting on you. Oh, I get that this sucks and you may hate having to do it, but it's better for you to own up to something ahead of time versus having people get upset with you because they are waiting and asking for it. I mean, really put yourself in their shoes, and I think you'll probably agree that yes, you would rather have somebody come clean and let you know that they're not going to be able to do it rather than you keep waiting and wondering when you're actually going to receive it. And it's simple to say to someone, hey, I got in over my head here and that's on me. I'm sorry. I won't be able to get to X to you until next words are hard, next Monday, and I wanted you to know. Yes, you might need to make concessions for being late if that affects their timeline. I mean, it's a possibility. So even if they are frustrated, people respect you for stepping up and actually taking ownership and being real with what's going on. And quite often they're okay with adjusting the timeline if they know ahead of time that you're not going to meet it. And the beauty of these 4 questions is that you can use them over and over and over again. So as you work through the process, each and every time you find yourself too busy, and ideally over time, you won't need to do it every single time or anymore. So I thank you so much for taking the time. And if you're in the too busy tunnel and having trouble getting out, we can talk. I would be so happy to spend some time talking with you to get you to see the light at the end of that busy tunnel, because that's nowhere to be in your business, because you will burn out so quickly. And as an OBM, this is one of the special areas that I'm so happy to hop on a call with you, and we can go through and identify 5 of the things that you could potentially take off your list. Or, like I said before, I'd be happy to go through your to-do list with you sometime, and we can actually determine whether it needs to be done by you or it can be done by somebody else. So keep flexing those productivity muscles, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.